What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
Keith.
And I'm Curtis.
You know the vibes. Y'all seen the picture. Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all know why y'all here. MONSTA X. Shootout. Y'all need to go shoot at that subscribe button. Become a real redeemer today.
Snipe it.
The love.
I'm leaning in because they definitely need to hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
You got to snipe that jump from distance.
Yeah.
Trust me.
If it's rush hour, go in there. Also, if you like content like this, please hit the Patreon up. For a small little $5, you get to see more MONSTA X content. We'll be doing a live version of this on there. I gotta look to see what mama performances we have for MONSTA X because we about to start getting into that as well. Also, I think if y'all go on the Patreon, there should be a couple choreo battles that haven't hit yet, and some live performances up there. More will be coming shortly. Shit.
Nice.
Waka 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 crawling. Waka waka waka. Waka 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 crawling. Waka waka waka. 201 high. Yeah. Excuse me, I'm walking like zombie. 발전을 좀 미치고 발전을 jumping. 길이 계속 모양 총 모양 블락아 블락아. 너희들이 되어버린 난 너의 I'm chopper chopper. Blah 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 keep blah blah you blah blah stop talking. 떠나버린 감정을 덮치는 주저없이 나 blah blah blah. Never gonna stop this 너 망설임 없이 go. 자꾸 네 근도 이제 누구나 draw. 반쯤 넌 나가 채로 무거운 다리를 끌며 걸어. 헤매는 어딘가 찾아갈 누군가 네가 없는 황혼에서 새벽 발목을 움켜잡은 내건 이별 어둠 속에 위태롭게 휘저리고 있어 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 나에게 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 어차피 다 끝났다면 네 마음이 떠났다면 희망도 남김없이 버려 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 언젠가 온다니 그게 너 잔인 나의 달려 어서 더 차갑게 Rolling Waka 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 crawling Waka 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 I ain't worried I ain't no surprise I'm the privacy Ooh Gonna take your time Gonna make that rip up like a mission 그때 당신이 밥을 떠니는 몸속이 너무가 만들어 바깥 구름 몸 일으켜 세우기지고 바깥 너를 보낸 그 후로 내가는
rap like crazy too.
대처는 어딘가
And the vocals, of course.
네가 없는 황혼에서 새벽 발목을 움켜잡은 내건 이별 어둠 속에 위태롭게 휘저리고 있어 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 나에게 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 어차피 다 끝났다면 네 마음이 떠났다면 희망도 남김없이 버려 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 언젠가 온다니 그게 더 잔인 나의 달려 어서 더 차갑게 Fire 지금 네 입으로 끝이라는 말을 내 심장에 써줘 Fire 이런 지금 같은 힘만을 끝내줘 나를 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 나에게 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 어차피 다 끝났다면 네 마음이 떠났다면 희망도 남김없이 버려 나를 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 나를 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 언젠가 온다니 그게 더 잔인 나의 달려 어서 더 차갑게
Way to end that too.
Shit.
Great touch in the choreo.
Yeah. It's funny when they do the Waka Walker, John. I don't know why I think
Waka Waka.
Animal. I don't know why I think of Animal from Muppets.
Fozzie.
Oh no, it's just Fozzie. Yeah, well, Waka Waka.
Yeah.
I thought Waka Flocka Flame.
Yeah, it's up. Yeah, it's cool.
Waka Waka
This is a safe
Waka.
place.
Well, not but just phonetic or phonetic. Lyrics, yeah.
Nah, this was super clean. And it's crazy because for a majority of the song, I'm gonna be very transparent. I thought Rapline was carrying like a little more. And we've seen enough MONSTA X at this point to know that like their vocalists are very slept on. I think like they have like some crazy vocalists, and their rap line does what rap lines need to do: kill shit. What Drake used to say, do right and kill everything. And it's crazy too, because well, let me get into a little split before I go into my point. MONSTA X, I did not know that they were going to crack like my 5 comebacks of the year. So when I heard Love, remember how we talked about like those nostalgia things and shit like that? That just like that.
Well, before we even get to that part, the No Diggity.
Yeah, the doom 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 doom. I like the way you work. If you know, you know. And prior to Love, I think I fucked with Trespass, like you had mentioned, I think off camera, and Rush Hour kind of just had like kind of one of those vibes. So like they always kind of had the vibe. I know they had vocalists and had rappers. French.
That guy.
Stop. So with that being said, like I do want to get into more of the music and start kind of really like giving them the respect that's due, just because at this point they made it into like a top 5 and beat out a lot of groups who were like, you know, that I have highly regarded at the ceiling almost. So at this point, like what else do y'all got that I haven't heard? Because I might say I like you know those 3 songs, and somebody be like, that ain't shit. Like you ain't heard this side, you ain't hear the B side, y'all didn't go to the Mama Jones, you didn't hear the live. You know,
Correct me if I'm wrong,
performances
they're
for
Gen
this.
3 too, if I'm not mistaken, right? So their body of work is probably quite a lot.
Yeah.
Extensive.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They could be fucking like 8 or 9 albums in or something like that. And like you said,
The bad part is 8 or 9 albums is only got 23 songs.
Yeah, well, I want to check because I thought a couple of albums had like
Actually,
some
real
parts.
albums, yeah.
Yeah, not
But
kind of
with
just
K-pop,
EPM.
you
Yeah,
just-
I know what you mean.
Never know.
At least some groups keep it funky and they'll be like, you know, mini album or something. Like some groups are just like the album and it'd be like 6 songs.
We got a lot of albums. No, we got a lot of singles.
But with that being said, I like how the song this song in particular can feel like it's heavy rap centric, but somehow the vocalists were able to have moments or be able to kind of create energy where you like, nah, we're here too, kind of like moments and stuff, especially towards the tail end of everything. When you start getting like those runs, you can start hearing like the vocal harmonies and kind of just them in the back, like doing like the sneaky vocals, we like to call them. But this was cool. This was a clean joint. I'm interested to see like how the live goes, just to kind of catch the choreo all in like one take, and also kind of just to see the energy that's gonna be there from the live. So yeah, at this point with MONSTA X, I kind of just want a little bit more. I know we keep talking about guides and stuff, and after we kind of initially knock some of these new songs out the way and these mamas, we will start getting into the guides. They're definitely a group that deserves a guide, just because I don't want to keep being disrespectful towards talented people. It's kind of, I think, my mindset for this year.
So you're going to treat me better next year?
Yeah, I got to start treating you like the king you are. So sorry.
About fucking time.
Said we fucking got him. Yeah, so with that being said, drop some decent guides like down in the comments as well, and we're going to take a look at them. If y'all see a decent guide, hit the like button, and whichever one has the most likes will be the guide that we do. Somebody gonna be like, yeah, give him the 3 hour.
Make them work for it.
Work for it. You should have never said that.
Give them the mini series.
Someone's gonna go back, like the comment deleted. I don't know. What
I was like, YouTube did it.
You said you were going to do that.
You said it.
He'll start screenshotting shit though.
How y'all feel about this masterpiece?
I thought it
Masterpiece.
was.
In
I
general,
thought it was alright. No, I thought this was good. I thought this was a good job.
So I read the comments like,
Somebody
what?
was ready to light the torches.
You don't like something I like? You cancel.
How dare you? No, I thought this was a good job. I definitely like the song. The whole premise of the song, at first, kind of caught me off guard with the Walker growl. I was like, what does that got to do with a shootout? But then he kind of talking about, feeling like a zombie and, those sort of things and almost kind of being dead inside. It's kind of what I'm correlating that to. And then, whoever shorty he dealing with is like, yo, I'll come back eventually. Like,
I thought it was Texas Walker. Shootout, Texas Walker.
First of all, Chuck Norris doesn't need a gun. He kicks bullets. All right. I'll flick it. No, but no, I thought that was definitely a good joint. I like the kind of tarot card vibe. Oh, one thing I definitely noticed, and it's not a bad thing, but I do kind of hope it goes out with 2022. And not everybody does this, but they definitely did in here. I feel the cuts in the video are ramped up due to the BPM of the video. And then sometimes that could give you a fucking headache because
I don't think that's ever going away.
It's like death. It's like the saying "death of 1,000 cuts," and like it really like cut, Dutch, boca, Dutch. Like, bruh, we can stay with a shot for like 4 or 5 seconds and be cool. Like, you don't have to have like 30 cuts in 3 seconds. But I mean, that's nitpicky because all in all, the video was shot very well. The match cuts are good. I like the vertical. I guess would have been raccoon eyes, but the vertical raccoon eyes look.
Most artists I've ever worked with that like I've done the MVs for want more of the cuts.
Why though? Does
Probably
it?
easier
They make
to
it feel
get
like
around.
it's more dynamic.
Yeah, more dynamic. And when you have like a big group setting or a lot of shit you want shown, sometimes you feel like you can't squeeze everything in the MV. So I guess artists like it. Just for the artists I've dealt with and shit like that, which have been like 100 artists in my heyday.
Music is cool with that. no,
Yeah.
but like
Nah, just not even them. Like I said, I've done like rock groups. I've done other shit. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just I don't know why artists in particular do like that unless they're really telling like a story that's almost kind of either one take or where images need to kind of stay longer. Especially when beats get ramped up. For some reason, when they do,
They
editors
want
start going
faster
like insert Kermit the typewriter.
And, like we're like, oh, why would you say that? Don't you like hot? Like,
Yeah.
all right, bro. Like, hot's a little different.
And that's even worse because right here you kind of just getting like the cuts, but once you get into those other joints, you had brought up DM from Promise Time when we did it, and you start getting into like those kind of them pan-ins and objects and other
But for
stuff.
whatever reason, they're done so well that it's a smoother transition than just a cut.
Oh yeah, it is gonna be a smoother because cuts are really jarring, low key. Especially like yesterday, Kurt, we were not to go on a tangent and shit. We were watching I think the top 10 greatest fight scenes ever, and the Bourne came on for Bourne 2.
Matrix was 10.
Right, terrible list. The Bourne 2 came on, and I was like, let's do a game about to count the cuts for you in this one fight scene. That shit was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 5 seconds in, and I was missing them because they were moving so fast. So it's just like, and it's crazy because those are held as kind of like, at the top tier of action genres, but sometimes things can be a little bit oversaturated. So I agree with you. I just would hope it's for a reason, and maybe if it's left to when the beat is getting cut up, cool. I just hate when that shit happens like randomly.
But I mean, cuts are, like you said, cuts are made to be dynamic. Like even that, like the flash cuts, like the reverse negative color, bro. It's just a lot, and there's like so many elements that they use. But I know why they do it to be dynamic. They do it, to not make the video boring, to kind of give it an exciting vibe. But sometimes it can be too much, especially black and white to Dutch to Boca. Like, it's just you're doing a lot.
They were doing
and you're
a
asking
few,
the eyes to follow everything.
Yeah, they were doing a lot in the sense because like it was neon lighting, it was silhouette
It
shots,
was soft neon lighting, then it was hard neon lighting with high contrast.
But I peeped that a lot with K-pop that like sometimes, let's say like I'm rapping, but they want to show Kurt. They wouldn't just kind of show Kurt one time. It almost is like sometimes in K-pop, it works its way into the shot. It might show Kurt hands first, his lips, his eyes, then his whole face, and it just kind of, a lot of the cuts kind of work their way into like the sexy shots or whatever they're trying to do.
It's establishing geography.
Now you're going to have people in the comments, why don't you do your reactions like that? See the lips.
Well, one point, once we start getting into the other... Once our technology is crazier and we're able to start leaving the video up, we're going to start doing shit where we was like right here. this. Yeah, this shot is what we're talking about, and the viewers will be able to see what we're talking about.
In real time.
Can't wait to get into that. But yeah, that's just how I feel about the K-pop stuff, where I do feel like they work their way into like those cuts, and they're very cinematic with things that an amateur director might have kind of just maybe showed an image one time.
They'll keep going back to it.
Yeah, and just play with it. Like even like a hallway joint, it'll be like feet, kneecaps, hands, chest, lips, eyes, mid, raccoon, wide shot, show the whole hallway, nail the walk, and you'll get all that within 10 seconds, but it's chopped so fast. And it looks good though. I can't bitch or complain. Like I've never watched most K-pop videos.
The music videos are definitely different than films.
Than
or
film.
Oh yeah,
television,
absolutely.
So yeah.
You're trying to condense a lot. Like you said, you're trying to condense a lot in a little bit of time, especially if the song is only like 3.5 minutes.
No, that's real shit.
Oh, look at that, 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. And especially depending on what be going on, because like you said, some concepts are chill where it's just like, oh, he's talking about hitting her or something like that, and other concepts would be something like, well, no, he's talking about the injustices in society and is using this as a metaphor, and that boat really was his emotions, and that's why I had to show him at the orphanage. And you be
Time traveling. They have to do 300 laps around the sun at 88 knots in order to trigger the Mobius effect to go back in time without crash landing on uterus.
No, real shit.
Set up Chekhov's gun. And
Right.
As soon as you said that bullets dropped.
What can I say?
Yeah, but I mean I love it too, just because regardless if we joke about things as far as like, oh, you're reaching with anything, I like that it sets up those conversations and that some of them leave them open. Oh shit, okay, yeah, let me stop talking. Now you said you're gonna love his take. It was like I'm all like,
I wasn't done, but I'm curious to hear, so please.
I'm so curious.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, no, for one, just speaking on the musicality, but for the rap line, absolutely did an incredible job. They each got 2 verses. It felt like they were all 16s within that. Perhaps the line distribution and the amount of time that took up within the track kind of is one of the reasons why it felt like, not as traditional, I suppose, to what we're expecting as far as the vocal runs and things of that nature, though I do think their vocal line did an incredible job, especially towards the latter half of the track. But basically, a lot of the pinup aggression from kind of the loss aspects of the love or anything like that is kind of what kind of fuels a lot of the I want to say the anger and aggression in kind of some of the rap, and I just thought that translated really well just on a music level. But as far as the video, I mean, they shot it honestly incredibly beautiful to me. All the aspects that they used to kind of frame them in either alienating shots or isolating shots, whether it's like the black and white. Kind of things, them being in jail. Even one of the members has one handcuff on them, and it's kind of because in one of the lyrics it talks about basically like, you said you'll be back. It was the lyric you alluded to, but then right after that it says that's almost even more cruel. Like basically, why even give me that hope that you're gonna return? Like it's almost more cruel. So then he has one handcuff on him, keeping with it like I'm in jail, like I'm cuffed, but I'm not. At the same point, like it's like so I'm so teetered between like what is this or that. That you're kind of leaving me like at a loss.
We were bound together, but you freed yourself, and I'm still attached. See,
still attached. Even because I mean, just being kind of transparent to the whole cuffed aspect of things. Like when you say relationships, so I didn't know if it was kind of reference to that, but knowing that they do talk about love and things like that, I thought that was really cool. I love the whole the cage aspect with the steam too coming out, keeping with like the fiery hell. Because they say it's like a hellish something in the lyric that follows right into that. So I just thought that aesthetically created a really decent look. One of the members surrounded by mannequins, like there's no humanity around me, keeping with the Walking Dead aspect, the zombie, where it's like you had said, where you're like almost lifeless kind of in this love, or like you're rather dragging along, or like you're part alive, but you're not. And it's a really great metaphor if you're keeping it as far as relationships, or like a I'm trying to think of the word. Unrequited love or something like that.
Unreciprocated?
Yeah, it's essentially means that. But
like I'm giving it to you, you're not giving it back to me? Yeah, unreciprocated.
Yeah, but basically...
Or non-reciprocal love.
Yeah, so it's like those aspects I thought were done really well. The light being literally blinding because you're in the darkness for so long, much like, you know, you hear stories like people if they're lost in caves or things like that, and then they come out and they're literally have to wear like glasses and things of that nature. So I just think subtextually those things are always communicated well. Lastly, really thing I'm going to touch on the most is probably the tarot cards. I love how they use that, especially because if it's a metaphor for like an uncertainty kind of in your path of like, you know, trying to hear about your destiny or where you know, those kind of chips may fall, so to speak. So I think it kind of calls into a question, a little bit of a question path there. But basically, I love that they used kind of the pride aspect, and then they literally burn the card of pride and throw it in the trash. But basically, when he holds it up, it's a middle finger basically, where it's like in between the fist, and it's just kind of there. So I thought that was really cool. Like basically, your pride is like a fuck you to this love, but then literally burning it with the cards that say wrath. So you're keeping with the 7 deadly sins kind of aspect of everything, which is another part of the whole humanity of like losing yourself kind of in these aspects, which again, I think ties in full circle to the zombie thing, where it's like, if I'm going down this dark path, I'm essentially losing my humanity. Therefore, I might as well be in jail or might as well not be kind of a part of this. Or it's even if it's easier to turn off your emotions to become cold to love because you know, have your defense mechanisms and things of that nature up. But nonetheless, I just thought all those things were so well communicated in the music video. And when you pair that with the aggression, and full 16s of both of the rap verses, because each of them felt like they got 2 verses, if it was 2 members, if I'm not mistaken. And then kind of some of the passion in the vocal runs towards the end. I just thought all those things really culminated for like a really amazing track, and I'm definitely excited to see more of, you know, MONSTA X. And just as a side note too, their choreography seems like really hard hitting and intense, especially with like how aggressive the beat pattern is. So I just think it serves a lot of the hard kind of high tempo choreo that they seem to engage in.
It's funny too. He was playing with those rose vines.
Yeah, like he's, you know,
kind of like love. It's gonna be beautiful, but it could hurt too.
You don't see the rose though.
Yeah.
Or he could be using
no
them
love.
to.
It's just the thorns.
It's just
he
the
could be
thorns.
using them to protect his heart from now on out.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the shots are behind something, behind bars, behind the gate, behind the roses. You know, what I mean, they're not like clear, clean shots. They're behind something, meaning that they're hiding
And even the
emotion
circles,
behind something.
the circles of like that jail window where like you would speak through, like when they do the bokeh shot with it and the hands held up like this, it almost looks like you almost magnetoed something. But it, the reason I'm saying that is because they look like there was like holes like being shot at you or something like that. So it created a really interesting kind of aspect as well, especially with the bokeh to kind of, you know, make it a little hazy. But I just thought all those things were done really well too.
Which is wild. They start caged up, and I like the whole "Are you there?" thing. They're still looking for her or something. Also, like what you brought up
waiting
too.
for her to come back.
Yeah. Also, like what you brought up too with the whole, you know, like darkness thing, where you kind of can be on the type time, like, you know, sometimes you can get lost so much in a relationship that like when things come to the light, it can be blinding or it can really hurt.
It's like a defense mechanism thing. You're in the dark so long you adapt to it, and then basically seeing any bit of light, you know, whatever that represents, can be blinding.
You think darkness is your ally?
What's done in the dark? Was done in
Molded by
What's that
it.
thing? It's like
What's done in the dark
what's
will
done
come
in
to
the
light.
dark will always come to the light.
Which is not true.
It's true as hell.
He said that's true as hell.
It's true as hell. It's true as hell. You might have been done with the relationship and find out, but it came to the light at some point.
I gotta start remembering this.
There's
for
still
the
some
MV
shit that
conversation
I
at
don't
the end
know
of
that
next
I
year.
need to know. I feel like I need to know.
That's because you like clarity. You like
I'm a
you
clarity,
like closure.
Clarity and closure. I need it.
Sometimes I'll just fuck that. I'm done with it. My heart. If you're playing me, keep it on the low.
No, I need to know so I
Good.
can. I know who to punch.
Sure, you
I know.
book with them.
That's cool.
Nah, but this is why like I love K-pop, just because it's so much, like, you know, and honestly, like I said, someone may have like seen an interview from them, can jump in the comments and be like, y'all wrong as shit. But what's fun about this is like anytime we have theories and just kind of when you get to take whatever you took from that, it's always like fun to apply that into just, you know what I mean, into what we do here. So I love all that. I even love what y'all. I even love how both of y'all took the cuffs a different way and shit. Like she left and still had it. You know, it was on there. She was cuffed. It was like y'all shooting
fit
from here.
depending
Y'all
the way you look at
Steph
it,
and Clay.
One dribble.
One dribble. Yeah, y'all good? Y'all anything else y'all want to add to this masterpiece?
No, I'm cool.
Ah,
But the stage, how it was smoky, right?
The haze.
Also, the red neon lighting indicated demon tongue.
Yeah,
It's love, but it's fake. It's highly saturated.
It's highly saturated. That
If I
makes,
sound like that, that's terrible.
that's funny. It's like, that makes sense because all the jail scenes are blue because it's cold.
Oh my god.
Bars. Jump in the
literally
comments.
bars.
Literally. Jump in the comments. Tell us how y'all feel about this. Tell us like what are y'all theories on any of this, or if it was any information about this stuff. Let us know if we were right about anything. If we were wrong, also feel free to jump in the comments and tell us that. At least when you do it, make sure you subscribe so that way you can talk shit and be a redeemer. There's family here. It's okay. Also, we about to jump into the live version of this on the Patreon. We might get into some of the Mama stuff today as well. I heard Mama 2018 for them is crazy. So yeah, jump on the Patreon, man. Love y'all. We're gonna holler at y'all. Peace.